Welcome and thank you for joining me. This is Laurie of Laurie's Heirloom Sewing. And I'm just kind of in that weird phase where I'm waiting for one project to arrive and I can't not sew. So everything in my house is sort of in that perilous situation of being repurposed into something. And I remembered these Pillow Shams that I have not used in over 3 years as a pillow sham. They just kind of hang out in my linen closet, and I suddenly had an idea for something where I could actually use them because I love them. You know, they're just they're really pretty. I bought them actually at an estate sale. And I know that they're not handmade, I don't think. No, see, there's the tag. However, a lot of attention to detail here. So every single solitary stitch on the outside has been done by hand. I don't know that they could fake that. And then there's some running stitches along the border. And I love the fact that there is this adorable little corded edge that goes all the way around. There's a mitered corner on each of the 4 corners. This, I know the motif in the center is likely machine embroidery. There is probably very little chance that this was done by hand right here. The satin stitches are uneven, but that does not mean that they weren't machine done. It's just there's a couple spots where they're not perfect. And I'm not saying that that's not, you know, okay, because it is okay. This little design here looks like it was hand quilted, running around the circle in the center are 2 rows of hand stitching. And you know me, I'm not a quilter. I'm not going to pretend to be a quilter. See, I don't know, but I love the way that the triangles and the diamonds meet up right in this little spot right here. And there's 2. I have 2 of these. And we had a twin bed in one of them that eventually ended up becoming my sewing room. So the twin bed came out of the room, and since then these have become just, you know, closet dwelling pillow shams. So this is the one that I ordered. I've been looking for it. I had a I want to say a subscriber to YouTube, but she could be following me on Facebook. I'm almost thinking maybe it was Facebook. Could have been Instagram. Anyway, she asked if I had ever made it, and I didn't even know that it was out there. But I looked it up and decided yesterday. I was talking to my oldest daughter down in Oregon, and she wants to borrow it when I'm done. So my plan is I'm going to make, trying to get everything situated, not the small, the medium. I love the way the small looks. I cannot tell you how much I love the way the small looks. But I'm going to make the medium because I want to see how this strap situation works on the medium bag. I know what it looks like. I'm not going to give it away in case you've never seen it. I realize it looks like you might think it's one way, but it isn't at all the way that you think it is till you actually know what it is. But we'll discover what that situation looks like when I'm making the bag. And then the fabric I'm using is absolutely adorable. But my brain is just in constant overdrive, trying to figure out what I want to do on a regular daily basis, and that's where this comes in. I will tell you, I've been working on this. I'm almost done. This one I feel is complete. I'm not going to put this little piece here. So this embroidery is done. This embroidery is done. This embroidery is done. And I'm not 100% sure what else I want to do. I know I need to add a stem or something, but do I want to do it in black and then do these petals in black and this stem in red and then something? This one I don't know yet. I may just remove this whole thing from the hoop when I get ready and just go ahead and make 3. I don't know. Or I'm just going to let it sit and perk for a little while I come up with a different idea. I was kind of thinking about it yesterday, and I thought about maybe doing some type of embellishing on the lace that is on here, but you know, I don't know. So this is where I am at the moment. This is what the back looks like. Kind of messy, but you know, it is what it is. Oh, this is something that I wanted to share with you. This is a very loosely filled little pillow that I made to take with me to sewing classes, and it's for my pins. The reason that they're all kind of in at an angle like that is because it's loosely filled. And if you pick it up and your pins are, you know, like this, you could potentially, see that right there? You could potentially hurt yourself. So I just lay them in, you know, at an angle. But it's filled with lavender. So it just has a lovely scent. It's very calming and soothing, and it kind of lends a little extra to the sewing room. I'm going to just go ahead and get busy and remove this from the pillowcase front. Had just incredible skill, and she adored anything purple. If it was purple, the fabric, she just loved it. And so she had her guest bedroom that my mom and dad would stay in when we went to visit them in North Carolina. It had a beautiful purple handmade, you know, quilted bedspread, and sometimes it would be different. You know, it wouldn't be the same one. As the years passed, there would be different, you know, different quilts, different pillows, everything would be different, but it would always be lavender. When I say purple, I don't really mean purple. I mean lavender, like the lavender on the print on these. It just reminds me of her so much and her absolute love of the color. She often wore the color as well. She helped my mother. My sister and I rode horses, and we were on the show circuit in Georgia, occasionally Alabama. It depended on how far we had to drive, and we hadn't moved yet. We were still running apple tree stables in Georgia, and we had you know, the actual show circuit that we were on was, you know, there were 2. There was the quarter horse, and then there was Palomino and I was selected by our horse group to try out for the Palomino Association's PHBA, Palomino Horse Breeders Association, or GPA, might have been Georgia Palomino Association. But in any case, it was the youth division because I was under the age of 15, and to ride, you had to go through a whole week of interviews, and they were watching. The judges were like skulking around, and they were watching to make sure that we were being nice to people around us, that we were just kind of all around good, wholesome people. And we had to keep our horses at the barn where this event was held. And my sister was helping me, keep my horse's stall clean, and just generally kind of hanging out with me there. And then the big night arrives, and you have to ride your horse and follow all the rules. And some of them were quite esoteric. Some of them were obvious. But anyway, suffice it to say, I won. I was awarded the title of PHBA stock type princess. Stock type, of course, referring to the division, the fact that I was writing Western, not English. Not me. So anyway, my grandmother helped my mother with the finishing touches to my tailor-made riding outfit that was sky blue, and then I had a royal blue Western hat, and I did feel like a princess. It was so cool. And ta-da! We made this yesterday, and I just love it. It is safety pinned to the original mat, but because I made this to keep me from being annoyed by this bumpity bump here, I don't think you can see that. It's this right here. It's just where the sewing machine would go if it were installed, and I'm not doing that to George. This is George right here. But anyway, I was so excited to have that done. Okay, so I have kind of made sure with clips that the piping stays on. I may have to take the piping off. It just kind of depends on how I want these to work. So I'm going to go ahead and get a piece of fabric, probably the Stitch and Sparkle Pearl, because that's what I have a lot of, and I think it would probably look the best with what I have here. And cut out a piece to match both of the placemat or pillow shams, so that I'll have a lining like I've done here. And I'm just gonna sew these up and see how they turn out. We'll have to just kind of wait. Okay guys, so I have 2 pieces of Stitch and Sparkle fabric, cut just a little bit bigger than my Pillow Sham is. In between, I have a piece of High Loft quilt batting. It's not fusible. Okay, so here is how this is going to go. This is the batting that's going to go on the inside. I'm just going to kind of roll it up and stick it in this little opening here. Alright, so first things first, I need to stitch closed this opening. And since I'm going to be doing just some quilting on here, I'll go ahead and do a top stitch all the way around. Okay. So, I mean, as you can see, it's not fabulous, but it's not actually horrible either. I will be pressing, obviously, and this side here will be the inside that doesn't show. Trim off all these threads. Okay, so this will be the side that is visible on the inside. I'm afraid this is going to make the top part a little difficult. Okay, so I think I have figured out what I'm going to be doing, and as a result of that, I will not, on this one, I will not be using the cording, but I'm not going to throw it away. I'm just going to remove it from this particular Pillow Sham, and I may use it in a different project. See some of the colors? It's such a dark and dreary day, it's crazy. Over the top of the raw edge of the Pillow Sham, like this, I'm going to clip that in place. I'm going to be stitching through a huge amount of fabric, so I'm going to go very slow, and I'm not going to be hard on my sewing machine. I don't think George would appreciate that. Alright, next I will be attaching these this way. Okay, so I actually did break a sewing machine needle, and I have decided that I'm just going to go ahead and do the whip stitch like I originally had thought I would need to do. Now we will see if we caught it all. Yes, we have managed to catch it. I see I'm off right here. This and this don't match. Now we're going to see. Not so bad. Alright, I'm going to give the sewing machine an opportunity to attempt these boxed corners. Ready for the grand reveal. Just going to reach in here, Turn it to the outside. Look at that. Wow. I really do like it. Let me get the lighting situated for you. Oh, I think it turned out really cute. I am definitely going to be using it in here. Now it does have raw edges on the inside, but as far as I'm concerned that doesn't matter because the outside is what really, for me anyway, what really works. It's roomy, it's padded, there's a lot of stuff I can put in here. I don't even mind if it sits on the floor, and it's going to open up a lot of space in my closet. Like right out the gate I can see something that's going to be just perfect. A little bit at a time. Alright, that's my tracing paper. I have a different place for these smoking plates. If you see something that you want while I'm doing this, let me know. Give me a comment. I might be willing to part with it. Yeah, okay. Alright, so the way this project works is you have a highly absorbent, tightly woven flour sack towel. They are a machine wash. You literally can put them in the dryer. I put mine in the dryer. They are 28 by 28 inches. They are heavy duty and they are 100% cotton. And they make the best aprons, you guys. So watch this. So I put the tag for mine at the bottom. And it really, you know, I mean, they're 28 by 28, right? So what I'm doing is I'm holding it up to my chest. So about here, okay? You can go a little higher, you can go a little lower, but, you know, if you want to really protect your clothes while you're cooking, about right there is a good spot. I know this is the front, pretty much right here, just this little area. So I'm going to mark using a pen, a friction ink pen. I'm going to put a dot and flip it over and put a dot so that the dots are basically in the same spot, just across from each other. Now I can open this up if I want to, and I won't lose that space, but I need to keep it together. I like that. I need to keep it together. Oh, do I ever. Alright, so we're going to match those dots back up so that they're just opposite of each other. Okay, and now I'm going to hold it up to myself again where I held it before. So right down the middle. And this, of course, is where the dots are. And then I'm going to kind of figure out, I think about here under my arm. I've got it about halfway down. So I'm going to mark that. So as you can see, I'm just kind of holding it up to myself. Now my thoughts are, you could use, say, a camisole. If you have a camisole, this measurement right here would be pretty much what you're looking for. So I'm going to mark, and this would be underneath the arm. So what I have now is I have a mark over here, which tells me where I want it to be on the top part of my chest. And I have a mark over here, which tells me where I want it under my arm. So I'm going to curve this like an arm side to match up with that. So I have a curve right here. I don't want that to be too big of a curve. Okay, so then next, we literally just cut this out right here. So you're left with this, and I have found that this is a good size and a good quality for face masks. This is a great filter. Don't throw that away. So you have the arm side and you have the front cut out. Now, before you do anything else, I have learned that you are going to want to take a couple of little tucks. So next, I'm going to cut 2 strips from this fabric, one to cover this side and one to cover the other side. So, before I apply these, I'm going to go ahead and stitch across the front. And there you have that. Right, now I'll need to fold the end under like this. You know, cut yourself enough that you can fold in this end as well. So kind of about a 1/2 inch past where you need it. And just fold it in. Okay. So this is what this part will look like. Now I found it really helped if I was just folding that dog ear in, and that really seems to kind of help get it out of the way and it's not visible. Remember to fold those little dog ears backwards on top of themselves. Sandwich in the raw edge and clip. About 1.5 inches on each side, we're going to have a sash. And your sash can be, you know, really however you want to make it. Alrighty, so next I'm going to have to piece, so I'll take 2. I have 4 pieces here. I'm going to take 1 and 1, right sides together. I'm going to stitch on the short edge right here. Alright, I'm going to trim this seam allowance down to about 1/8 of an inch on both. Okay, And I'm going to go press these. And the way I'm going to press them is basically the same thing I did for the binding on the underarm. And that is, I will press the seam, and then I'm going to press this in half. And then I'm going to bring the halves to the center and then fold it over like this. I'm going to put this together lickety split. Here, and just stitch right over it, right there. And then I'm going to measure down on the other side so that they're both in the same place, but I kind of have a feel for where they need to go. Okay, and I went back and forth, back and forth, back. I don't want this coming undone. Actually, forward, backward, forward, backward. That's basically all you need to do. And then all your threads are at the same place. Measure around your neck. Now you can make these tie, or you can just make a loop that you put over your neck. I find that to be far more effective for me, and more likely I will use it. My recommendation is that you have the person that you're going to give it to, or yourself, either give you a measurement from around their neck to where the apron will be at the very top, you know, at their chest. And then make this fit that. So, because this is not a fussy apron. So we will be attaching this piece right over the top of the arm side, like this. And then pivot, and then come all the way down the length of the piece. Right. So here it is. It is just too cute. So here's the part that goes over the neck. This is the front that goes across the chest. And you could, if you wanted to decorate that, you could. Here's one of the arm sides. Here's the other. And then your little ties. And it is the simplest of all to wear. I hang mine up in my pantry, and whenever I'm doing bread, out it comes. Maybe 15 minutes to make that apron if you weren't interrupted. And by the way, I think I forgot to mention, this is for my sister. I don't think she knows that yet, but this apron is for her. She's been baking, and you have to have an apron if you're going to bake. It's the law. So anyway, thanks again. See you later. Bye. I